This week is a turning point in momentum, clarity, and emotional recalibration. We're moving from internal processing into aligned action, but not without test first. This is your weekly astrology forecast for the week of April 7th through the 14th, 2026. And we begin with the moon entering Capricorn April 8th, which is today. And this shifts the emotional tone immediately. You may feel more serious, more focused, even a little detached. And this isn't you being cold, it's clarity trying to ground itself in reality. And you'll want to look at where you have Capricorn in your birth chart. And this area is asking for what needs structure, what needs discipline instead of emotion, and where have I been avoiding responsibility? So don't chase the feelings, build something stable instead, and regulate before reacting. And then we have Mars in Pisces sextiling Uranus and Taurus. This is active all week, peaking today. And this is subtle but powerful. It's intuitive, unexpected movement, sudden insights, random opportunities, shifts that feel almost guided. And you'll want to look at where you have Pisces and Taurus in your chart. This is where you can break out of stagnation, try something different, follow a nudge that doesn't fully make logical sense yet. And to work with it, trust your impulse, but ground it. Not every spark is meant to be chased, but the aligned ones, you'll feel the difference. And then we have Mars entering Aries April 9th. And this is a major shift, and energy goes from passive to direct. You'll feel increased drive, less tolerance for delays, a stronger desire to move forward now. But the truth is that this can bring impulsiveness, frustration, or conflict if not handled consciously. And you'll want to look at the house that Aries rules for you. This is the area where it's becoming activated with urgency, courage, confrontation, initiation. And to work with it, act, put into action, but don't react. Channel the fire into purpose, not pressure. And then we have the last quarter moon in Capricorn, April 10th. And this is a release point. Something you've been holding on to emotionally, mentally, or physically is ready to be let go. Especially anything tied to control, outdated goals, pressure that you've outgrown. And you'll want to see where this hits in your birth chart around 20 degrees Capricorn. And this is where you're being asked to reevaluate and release. So to work with it, let it go, or let go of what's heavy. Okay, so that you can move forward lighter. Letting go oftentimes means maybe you need to have a conversation. Maybe you need to look at something from a different perspective. Perhaps you need to go outside and do some grounding. That means like earthing, going into nature. Becoming, in the flow state. That'll help you ground it. So then we have the moon entering Aquarius, April 10th through the 13th. And now the energy shifts again, and you may feel more detached, more observant, less emotionally reactive. You'll want to look at where you have Aquarius in your chart. This is where you've been guided to think differently, detach from emotional loops, see the bigger picture. So you'll want to step back and realize that not everything requires an emotional response. And then we have the Mars conjunct Neptune in Aries, April 13th. And this is the most complex energy of the week. Mars equals action, and Neptune equals illusion, intuition, spirituality. So together, this can feel like inspired action or confusion, divine guidance or protection, clarity or fog. So you'll want to look at where you have Aries in your chart again, and this is being intensified. Ask yourself, is this aligned, or am I reacting from illusion? So move with intention. Not everything that feels urgent is true. And then we have Venus and Taurus sextiling Jupiter in Cancer, April 13th. And this is your soft landing. After all the intensity, this brings emotional support, stability, and expansion in love and finances. And you'll want to look at where you have Taurus and Cancer in your chart. And this is where things can flow, connections deepen, abundance opens, and be in receiving mode. You don't always have to push. Some things are meant to just come to you. But I would say in areas where you've often received, you may have to give action. So then we have Mars entering Pisces between April 13th and April 15th, and we close the week in a deep sensitivity. The intuition heightens, emotion softens, and boundaries can blur. So you'll want to look at where you have Pisces in your chart, and this is where you need rest, reflection, spiritual connection, and to work with it, protect your energy. Not everything you feel belongs to you. So this week is teaching you the difference between reaction versus aligned action. You're being pushed forward, but also asked to stay grounded, aware, and intentional. Not everything that activates you is meant for you. And if you want to know exactly where this is hitting in your chart, your patterns, your blocks, and what's actually shifting for you personally, direct message or email me through the link in my bio, my link tree. And I offer strategic soul alignment readings, intuitive astrology and tarot, and love energy check-ins. So this is not surface level. This is precision. And I also have reviews in the highlight section of my video or of my Facebook and upon request. So you're not being tested to break you this week. You're being refined to align you and move with awareness, act with intention, and trust what's stabilizing over what's just loud. Sending you lots of love and light, piercing through the shadows. Namaste.